everybody, welcome to the Emily Pearl Show live from Memphis, Tennessee. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we see that people are coming in into the chat box to chat with us tonight. And of course, we always greet everybody with our very own hello. And I know my computer's going to be a little bit laggy. It looks like I'm frozen there. All right. That just shake me up. All right. Greetings from the Emily Pearl Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome. All right. And to our early birds that we have in the studio already, we got Mary from Michigan. Hello, Mary. I saw Sandra earlier from Tennessee. Yeah, there she go. Sandra from Tennessee. And there'll be more of you in. We're waiting for some more of our regulars to come on in there. All right, then. So, not holding up any longer, we're going to bring in all of our co-hosts and along with our guests, and we're going to move right on ahead. All right. There is Tim, the heartbeat of the South, by every heartbeat. Hey, Tim.
How's everybody doing?
All righty then. Sounding good. We got SYBIL, co-hostess of the Mostest around Memphis. Hey, Miss
Hi.
SYBIL.
Happy to be here on the world famous Emily Pearl Show.
All right, good deal, SYBIL. And we got our newest, latest Nashville correspondent, none other than CATHY C.C. CARLSON. Nice, CATHY.
Hey,
How's
y'all. How
everything?
you doing?
Doing
All
good. All right,
Good.
it's sounding good. And we're bringing in our special guest, so he doesn't have to wait too long. None other than the fabulous Rich Hall. Hello, welcome to the show.
I
Hey,
wait on
Rich.
you all night. Nice to see y'all.
Nice to
Right.
see you as well. All right then. So, SYBIL, Tim, SYBIL, how was your day today? What did you do?
Well, my day was wonderful today. Yesterday, I went to shop at Walgreens down the
Mhm.
street, and something happened in the parking lot, and we were on lockdown till the police came.
Oh my
So
goodness, that was
that was my
which
first lockdown.
which location was that?
Down the street from me, Pauline and Union. What happened is this car, it looked something like a white SUV, kept for about 15 minutes, kept circling the Walgreens parking lot, and someone saw them circle with a passenger door open, and someone was in there with a machine gun.
Oh, gosh.
So
Oh
we
my
had to lock
God.
it down till the police came, and by that time they had drove, left. So that
Oh
was
no,
kind of
no, it's
exciting,
scary.
Mm.
Not
and then
exciting,
I
that's
ended up walking
scary.
home. But
Oh
yeah,
my
I
God.
walked home for a couple blocks after that, but I felt safe.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad that you are safe. I didn't hear about that one on the news. I'm probably
Well,
missing.
it didn't make the news because the people had left.
Okay, okay. I guess I see what you're saying. I didn't put it on there since it was nothing happened. Thank God, still.
They they drove they drove off by the time the police arrived. But anyway, we were on an official lockdown. We couldn't get out of the store.
Oh yeah, well, it was a good
We,
thing that they
we were
locked
locked
y'all
in.
down. Good thing they
Yeah,
locked y'all
until the
down for the
police
safety.
came.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Uh-huh.
Oh, hello,
So we all went
Kimmy.
to the back.
Welcome to the show, Kimmy. All right then,
Hey.
Tim. How was your day?
Pretty good. I was able to run a couple of errands before the rain came down, and so yeah, it's been a pretty good day. Doing a lot of catching up on TV, so yeah, pretty good.
Catching on TV. Yeah, don't even mention that.
Yeah.
I've been sick under the weather ever since,
Yeah.
really started last Saturday actually, but I didn't get to the
Your
doctors.
allergies, right?
Yeah, I get ear infections because of this headset, and then when my sinus infection all ball together, it just goes all down into my chest and everything. And when you have to work with these headphones on, 8.5, 9 hours a day,
Oh, yeah.
the build moisture. So I'm gonna look on Amazon, try to see if I can find me some type of pads that I can put in there to keep it from getting moist, so I can stop getting these ear infections. But that's what it's required. Now I have earbuds, but the thing about it is they won't work with my work platform. It's trouble, for them to hear me. They can hear me sometimes, and sometimes they can't. So with the professional headset, they can hear me all the time. So I just don't
Yeah.
worry with the headbuds anymore. So, but when
So
Tim
you're gonna
said,
get a better set, right?
no, I'm not gonna keep this one. I'm gonna see if I can find me something to put between my ear and the
Oh, I
headphones
see.
to keep
Something in between.
to keep the
Yeah.
moisture out. Um, but when Tim said catching up on movies, Tim, did you know that they got a new addition onto The Last Kingdom? It's
No.
called Seven Kings Must Die, and it's on Netflix. It's really good. But
Oh, okay.
the thing about it is, I think I only watched 2 seasons, so I had to go all the way back and start all over again to go through the 5 seasons so I could.
Yeah.
Actually, I watched The Last King. I watched the new one, which came out this year. But see, I got lost because after watching it, I'm like, how did all this happen? I realized that I had missed some seasons. I didn't even know
Yeah.
that had them.
Yeah, it happened.
So that's what I was catching up on while I was sleeping
Mm.
all this medicine. This first time they ever give me antibiotics that knocked me out to sleep, man. I don't know. So I was watching the TV watching me, and back and forth.
Yeah.
So, Kathy, how was your day?
Oh, it was delightful. Yeah, the weather's beautiful, and I'm looking forward to visiting some friends I haven't seen in a long time this weekend. They
Okay.
went to Germany and a
Oh,
couple other places, and they're
oh,
gonna cook some dishes for me. Some delicious
okay.
dishes.
Sounds great.
So looking forward to that.
Well, we got to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to let you introduce our special guest. I love that background. He's sitting there like the king.
I know
Southern
it sure is. And hello,
California.
Kim. Kimmy's tuned in.
I said hello.
And Mary. Okay. I was saying hello to her.
I had it on the screen, but yeah, thank you, Sybil, for pointing that out. That's Sybil's job to make sure I don't miss anybody in the audience. Thank you, Sybil. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, Kathy, you will introduce our special guest. Tell us all about him, okay? Meanwhile,
Yes.
the rest of you, as well as our team, please share the show. Guests, please share the link to all of your fans so they can come on in and join us. And it reminds me, I've got to share the Twitter. I'll do that while we're on break. All right. Don't go away, y'all. Stick and stay. We will be right back.
What am I gonna get? Ooh, cherries. Oh, okay. How about cherry ice cream? With sprinkles? And maybe a baguette. And a French boy. Bonjour. Ooh la la, baby. You know what I need? Bath bombs. Bombs away! charger. I can never find those things. And I gotta get flowers for mommy. And a little something for me. Can I get a robe? All right, we are back. Thank you guys for sticking and staying with us, bringing in the rest of the team now so that we can get this show started. All right. Okay, one more, and I guess, and we are ready to go. Kathy, take it away. Tell us all about our guest tonight.
Okay, well, I've been waiting for this. This is Rich Hall. He's from Follow No One. It's a band, and he also performs with PEDRO, but PEDRO Marino ALMEIDA. Is that how you say it? ALMEIDA?
ALMEIDA, close enough. Pedro's heard it.
Sorry about that.
Pronounced 20 different ways depending on where you are in the world. So it's all good.
Yeah, he's not here because he's in Portugal, right? Is he in Portugal?
Yeah, it's about one. Yeah, it's about 1 a.m. there right now. So I told him I would be nice, and I do on behalf of both of us tonight. So Pedro sends his warmest regards.
And he is where?
In Lisbon, Portugal.
Oh, in Portugal. Okay, Portugal.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
wow, that is a long ways away. Well, he can still watch there. Did you send him the link to watch the show?
He'll see it when he gets up in the morning.
Okay, great. Gotcha.
I think he's probably asleep right now.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah, now Rich, he's a singer, songwriter, musician. He's award-winning. He did win an award in Nashville, which I would like to talk to you further about that. And
Sure.
Do you produce? You produce because you have a studio.
We do. Yeah, we produce all of our own music and material and etc. I have a studio here that a practice studio that I, at least, when I'm coming up with stuff and we're in the demo process, I record here. But, sometimes just depends on the song and what we've got going on. I may go into a studio like Colorado Springs or somewhere, here in the area, like to drop vocals and whatnot. But Pedro, we kind of work, our studios kind of work in concert. We're both set up on the same systems and everything. So when Pedro sends me a mix, I can actually open it up in the software we use. And, I usually don't usually do that much with it because, that's for the engineers and stuff like that to deal with. But yeah, it's kind of we worked that out into a seamless process. So even though he's in Lisbon, it's just like we're in the same room.
Right.
You know how technology is. We're kind of we're separated, each one of us, but we're all together, and it almost feels like we're in the same room. Not quite, but you get what I'm saying. You do kind of miss, sometimes that personal vibe that goes along with when you're with someone, that just doesn't come across over video or phone or whatnot. Yeah. But, so I can imagine what the music would sound like even more so. It might though. I think in the way Pedro and I work, we're very independent type people. We're kind of like working on our own anyway, and then we wait and see what each other comes up with, and then we go from there. So it's an interesting process. So we enjoy it, and like Kathy mentioned earlier, we 2019 we won an award for Best Rock Act in 2019 there in Tennessee, and that was let us know that we're headed in the right direction.
Awesome. Okay. All right. That sounds like a winner.
Yeah. Now you have a green screen. Have you done anything with the videography or doing anything like that to add to your music? Have you done any of that?
Yeah, if you go on our YouTube channel and wherever, all over the place, we have full-length music videos for the album that's right behind me. We had a video production company help us there, and throughout our career, we've not dropped a ton of videos just because it costs so much money to make them if you're going to do them right, and we try not to do anything, if it doesn't come off at least anything but less than professionals. We just rather not do it if we can't do it right. So yeah, each time we've dropped videos, and then we do just like everybody else does, camera and stuff like this. But yeah, we've got music videos that accompany some of our more important tracks, and as a matter of fact, our current single has a video that accompanies it that was shot here in Colorado, and with all the beauty of the mountains in the background, and cinematography in that video is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing song. You redid it because it signed with Helmut Wolf of Wolf Entertainment, and it came out amazing.
Helmut he's an engineer and a darn good musician in his own right, and etc. And he's been in the business a long time, and he'd heard that song, Bring Me Peace, and he said, hey, I'd like to try something with this and just put my own interpretation of the song into a mix. And rock doesn't do that as much as you see that a lot more in hip hop. That other artists will take what somebody did and kind of put their own interpretation into it. I kind of like that, and I wish more artists on our side of the fence did things that way. But he did that, and yeah, it just kind of it has a different sound a little bit than it did in the original, and yeah, we're pleased with how people are receiving it. So,
well, wonderful.
Can't complain.
Wonderful. Well, I love the way you said that Fate the album. It's a cinematic hard rock album based on a true story, and it's an epic work as musical art story from hell and back. Healing powers of love, faith, and perseverance. So,
who wrote that? I didn't write that.
Right? I lost that. That was great.
It must be some review we got. That sounds like a good album. I'll have to check it out. Fate's, during the COVID, when all that got going crazy, for lack of better terms, and they started locking down. This was not too long after we had won our award, and just like right a few months later, that November going into the next year is when things got locked down. So we had other plans. We didn't plan on recording an album, but Pedro and I we think outside the box. Our sound wise for rock, it's not overly produced, and I'm not saying that things are too much, but it's just a matter of taste and sound. And our approach is, hey, we like to try new things. So we had been knocking around the idea of doing a concept album, but we wanted to do something a little different in the concept album genre. And I ended up hiring actors and everything to kind of create scenes on this album that help aid the story along with the music, and it tells the true story of some stuff that happened to me. And to make a long story short, in 2010 I was living large, I guess you could say, and then one day I came home and everything was gone out of my house, my wife, my kids, and all that. And after that I kind of went off the rails for a good little while until I ended up on a emergency room table.
My goodness.
They pronounced dead, or they thought I was dead, and obviously I didn't die. And then from then on, it was a struggle to get my life back, physically, mentally, and my kids and everything. So, I mean, you can't write stories that good, I thought. So I said, let's just do that. And that exposed a lot of my personal life, but, you know, for the sake of art, as they say. So it tells the story of what happened to me and how I made my way back. And as you can see, I kind of, I made it back okay. I'm here.
Good.
And that album just, it tells that story. And not only that, there's some really, really unique music, you know, that you don't really hear in today's rock market. And Pedro's composition background and knowing so many different types of other music, it kind of works into our style, which gives us a unique style. Because when I ask, one of the things you get asked as a band or an artist, I don't care what kind of artist you are, really.
You gotta have your own style.
They want to say, well, who do you sound like so we can market you? Well, when you say, I don't know, and you ask your fans, well, you sound like you. It doesn't really give you much to work with. You find another artist, you're going to target their fans and stuff because they might like you too. So it's made it a slower process for us to get our name out there worldwide because, you know,
you got your own style.
It's just us and our own style. So, you know, it takes a little bit for some people to get into that, but you know, we've kind of done both. You know, we've got some decent singles that have done well on radio and stuff like that. But we like to be challenged and enjoy what we do. And this kind of project really brought out the creativity in both of us, and we enjoyed it immensely. And I hope to maybe do something like that in the future. You know, just taking on a story that's, I'm not going through all that again for another album, I can tell you that. So it's going to have to be a story that we either write or take, you know, a nonfiction and maybe do a really cool album like that and really buff up the cinematic part of it this time. The
cinematic part, that's important, you know, because as you can see going across the screen, we have a movie that we produced. And we want to start working on a series, hopefully probably in the fall. And I'm going to be looking for original music. In fact, the movie that I have is an original soundtrack that was created by a Memphis musician here. Two of them, Dwayne Wilson and Carlos Wright. And it's like they had one other clip in mind for me when I asked them if they could contribute to me a theme song, original. And while we were sitting in the session, I heard that one. And then they were playing this one as we were sitting around chatting. I think we were eating some Kentucky Fried Chicken or whatever. And I was like, what's that right there? What's that? Wait a minute, hold it, play that again. And you know, and that was the one that I felt. So because when you're looking for music for a film, it's different from just looking for music. You know,
no, I feel you there.
You feel me there?
Yes, it's got the vibe you get from that song has to go with the vibe that you intended on screen. They have to work together. If they're working against each other, then you know, that doesn't. But yeah, we kind of I know exactly what you mean because we kind of had the same thought process, not to that kind of extent you had to do, but yeah, there's some of that goes in there, you know.
That's right, and so you know, I'm the producer, I'm the writer, so I have these characters, I have this scene, I have the storyline, all of the stuff in my head, in my brain, all these people up there in my brain, you know, and their emotions and their feelings and how they talk, how they walk. So, you know, when I'm looking for music for my film, I'm looking for particular types of music. So, like when I do a series, I'm glad to meet all of these new artists so that I would have a variety and be able to give everybody to be able to create, you know, to contribute to the series. And it's going to take a lot of hard work, in other words. To make a long story short, it's going to take a lot.
I know what you're saying there. Yeah, it took us it took us a little bit about a year, I think, to do this last project.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, like I said about COVID earlier, there's a silver lining, I guess they say. Because we were basically shut down, it gave us the time we needed to work on that, and without all the distractions that you normally have, it just freed us up to do that project. So I'm thankful in that way. I'm one of those people, when it comes to life, we've all been there. Bad things are going to happen to you, and once you get older, things don't fluster you as much as they do when you're younger. So I got the mindset, okay, when stuff's not looking great, what can I do right now to make the most out of this situation? And that's what I try to do, no matter when it comes to this, when it just comes to life in general. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's really it.
Right. Yeah. And so when you let me get everybody else in here. Tim, what question did we lose? Kathy? Yeah, she'll be back.
She'll be back. And hi, Terry.
Yeah, hello, Terry. Nice to see you too.
Yeah, likewise.
Okay, there's Kathy. There she is. Okay.
Well,
You remember that old show, Hollywood Squares?
Yes.
I remember that.
This reminds me, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of some new age Hollywood Squares in a way.
Yeah.
We're all
Except I'm not
in
as funny as
squares.
those people on there were, but
Yeah.
Sometimes we are.
Remind you of what?
Hollywood Squares, that
Squares,
TV show.
Oh,
Yeah,
Hollywood
it reminds me of that
Squares.
too. Yeah, I like it though.
We're all in the little squares.
Yeah. And I can move everybody around, so I got the power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, Rich, who inspired you to get into music, or did you automatically have a love for music?
Well, going back, when I really think about it, when I was younger, I got a boombox for Christmas one year, and then I just started listening to music. I started taping the Casey Kasem's Top 40 Countdown every week.
Yeah.
And I would use the same cassette and tape out because I couldn't afford to. I was just happy that I had one tape. That thing had been taped 40 times, I think, after it broke and got, the old days. But anyway, that got me into it. But, I started in band like in high school. I mean, in elementary school when I was like, I don't know, 5th grade.
Okay.
And then my mom had me audition for a musical, and I got the lead in it. And there was singing involved and acting and everything. And I was about that same age too, 8 or 9 years old. And I don't know, that just kind of being in front of that crowd, man, there was like no better. I'd never felt a feeling better in my life. Still haven't, I don't think, other than, some of those family moments, et cetera. But that got me on it. And then, so then it's just like, okay, if you're gonna be interested in this, what do you want to do?
Right.
Well, I played trumpet in the band, and that helped me learn music and read everything. But I started with piano, and then got a little older, picked up a guitar. But piano was always, I love jazz and blues. That's what I really, really got into. And my grandmother, she loved jazz. So my whole life I was kind of around music, Right. And in high school I got in a rock band and just really, really embraced that and tried to practice. I mean, I just practice.
Yeah.
Did my first demo in Kansas City at 16, and I've just kind of. It seems like music's just always been there, even if it wasn't the primary focus. It's always been in the mix somewhere. I did singing in church like a lot of people did coming up, and that gets you used to being in front of people. Because being in front of people, in a musical for a lot of kids, it'd be like, well, that's kind of scary. Not when you're in front of people at church, you better be on your best behavior, and for mom and grandma and everybody, and out there doing your thing. It's like, well, that's not really that much pressure. It's just different people that I don't know these people. I know these people. I better be good in front of them. I don't know any of these people.
Right.
So from then on, I just kind of stuck with it, and life takes its turns and etc. But the road always leads back to two places: God and music. you know.
Gotcha.
So
Mhm. Several questions.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. And
thank
how do
you.
we find you on YouTube?
Well, you know what? If you Google, best thing to do to find us in general is just Google follow no one and link you. Our YouTube is usually, even if we're live streaming, it usually puts it to the top of the list there. So you can, or you go to our website, follownoonestore.com, and our link tree's there, and it has all of our socials and etc. And I'm on, we're
Okay.
on, our link tree's got our Facebook,
Are you saying
Instagram.
follow no one?
Yes, follow no one.
Okay.
That's right. Thank you, Emily.
No problem. And your website is follownoonestore.com.
Follow no one. Yeah, follownoonestore.com. We've got a bunch of
.com.
websites, but that one just kind of, it's got links to get you everywhere you need to go. And our link tree is probably the best thing. Link tree, you know, follow no one.
Okay, let me get that in now.
That sounds like
Follownoonestore.com. Right?
a good song title right there.
You know what? Me and I'm glad you said that. I want to make sure Pedro hears this because we were just talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
I said we need a song called Follow No One, but the thing is, if you're going to have a song that's naming your band, it better be a good song.
Absolutely.
If it's nothing less than better, then great, fantastic. Then you could do more harm than good with something like that. But that's a challenge I want. I want to do that because that's just a great idea.
Oh, I did a /. I got to do a .com. Oh, I'm so used to /. Let me redo.
Oh,
Let me
it's
redo
store.
this.
It's store, Emily. FollowNoOneStore.com.
Oh, store. Okay.
Yeah, store.
Let me take this off
Follow
right
no one
quick.
story. Okay.
Yeah, it's store. Yeah.
Store. S-T-O-R-E.
Yeah, that's got all of our music and merch.
Story,
and,
like you read a story.
No.
S-T-O-R-I.
No, he's correcting me, Sybil. It's
Oh.
S-T-O-R-E, right?
That's right.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, I got it now.
You know what? It'd probably find it anyway these days.
Yeah.
So,
Rich, you mean this, and you click that. I do that all the time, misspell stuff. So
I just corrected it. Is that
cool.
it?
There we go.
All right. Thank you. Sometimes
So,
I have
Rich,
too many L's.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you work with a lot of people, but who is someone that you haven't had the opportunity to work with that you would like to work with?
You know, the answer probably surprised you because it's not someone in rock music. It's someone in hip hop, and it's Too Short.
Really? I can see that. I can see that.
You know, because he's old school, and you know, when I was in the Army, when I rolled with my tape.
Yeah.
Even then, you know, and it had updated obviously over the years. And somebody turned me on to him, man. I was like, that's all right, you know. So,
yeah,
I'd like to do something with him. That'd just something different. That'd be great, you know.
Yeah, who was the guy that sang "Walk This Way" that did with Run DMC?
That was Aerosmith.
Aerosmith, yeah.
And you know what? That was one of the very first cassettes I ever bought in my life was Run DMC.
Yeah.
I think it actually was the first album I bought.
Yeah.
And the second one was Dawkins, which is a hard rock band from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
They had that song in the Freddy Krueger movie. Anyway, yeah. So you know, I remember them doing that song. It was kind of groundbreaking at the time.
It was.
And you know, some people kind of, I've heard some decent collabs, you know, but I'd like to do something. And one of the reasons I mentioned Too Short is because the way at least he used to do things a little bit, is that his tracks, you know, he didn't do a lot of looping and sampling. He had a band record, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, he did a track with Parliament Funkadelic, and it was just one of my favorites. And I kind of like to do something like that nature where we're providing the music. I'm not going to rap, but I'll sing on it maybe if it needs it.
I bet that'll be nice, man.
And then do something, you know, just something that's real. That's it.
Yeah, I get it.
All right, I'm sharing. I went to the website and I'm going to share. If it let me, I'm going to share. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's going to let me share the album. Your website page as soon as it comes up. Let's see. Let's go on here, and then we'll take a break. I guess I hit too many buttons. They always changing stuff in the studio, man. I'm telling you, I'm like, okay, hold on, just a minute.
That's why it's hard to be the host. You got a lot of pressure. You got to keep all of us straight.
Yeah, you do.
That's straight.
Yeah, you do. I'm glad somebody understands, because
I do.
Because Sybil thinks that I'm a robot and I can just hit real fast. I have to tell her that sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, so here we come. Yeah, because if I don't, I'll disconnect the show. I don't want to do that. All right, so when it comes, as soon as it comes up, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. It's loading now, and then I'm gonna spotlight that for us so that everyone can see it. Okay.
Well, thank you.
All right, so it's coming up now. I'm gonna spotlight that. Okay. Hold on. All right, so phone one. There we go.
Yeah, if you click on those two lines, if you click on those two lines over there to the left, you just click on it and leave it open. It'll show all the different stuff. Like play. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So this is home, and this is shot music right here.
You got it.
And you got the musical CDs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And our digital downloads.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah. Very nice. No 5. Fate. All right.
Yeah, 5. That was our very first effort. Back a little while ago.
Let's see. Okay, let's see what it's doing. Let's see if we can see anything.
What is your emergency? Hello? Are you still there? Hello? Can you hear me? I am dispatching someone to this location. The caller is not responding. Hello?
Is that your album?
Yes.
Still not responding.
That's the very first track.
Boy, that's
okay,
some kind of track.
911. I kept looking down at my phone. I thought I had hit the wrong button.
I did the same thing, because sometimes I can trigger down my phone.
As you feel your suffering around me, is it deception or just your reflection?
All right then. All right, so stop sharing it and bring us back into the studio. You're jamming there.
Yeah, that's like that's our second track we recorded, and it was our first track that went to radio. It went like a battle of the bands somewhere. Yeah. Our music has changed. I mean, the music itself our sound has evolved quite a bit since then.
Okay.
That's where we started with the basics and kind of built on the basics. You gotta get. If you don't start right, you'll never end right. That's what my grandpa used to say. So we started right, and hopefully we'll end right.
Oh, and see, when I'm writing, I start at the end. When I'm writing, I figure out how I want my end to be, and then I figure out how to get to the end. I go backwards when I write.
That's a good way to do it. You don't have to worry about how it's going to end.
Yeah, because you can get a writer's block when you start from the beginning. I learned that.
You don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah, that was my little trick that I learned myself when I was. I took creative writing in college, and I used to get writer's block, for my assignments. And then one night I was just studying, trying to write into the night, and something told me this: how do you want your end to be? Okay, so I want my end to be this way. So then I go backwards, and then the beginning is always pretty easy to make it. You can. A beginning is the easiest part ever to put to a story, because you can make your beginning fit your middle and your end. It's your middle and your dynamic end that's got to be really good. You were gonna say something, Rich?
No, I was just thinking, that's my wheels turning when you see me doing stuff like that. No, we had a song on Fate, actually, and it was like it started out being the easiest song I ever wrote,
Uh-huh.
but the hardest I ever wrote too, because I listened to it and I sang the chorus in the first 5 minutes and it never changed.
Uh-huh.
And then I went ahead and went back to the beginning and then started doing my thing.
Uh-huh.
8 months later, I was still changing my melody. And after you've locked a melody in your head,
Yeah,
one of the
yeah.
hardest things as an artist to do is get rid of it and just act like it never existed and try to
Yeah.
rewrite it and not have that sound like. And it took me a year. That was the last. That ended up being like the second song we did, and I thought it was going to be like, oh, this is going to be done.
Uh-huh.
It was.
It'll be
It
the
ended up being
hardest one.
the last song we finished on the album.
But it was like it was like a jingle that was stuck in your head, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think I kind of started at the beginning on that too.
Yeah. But you know, now I think that with music though, it's different. With music, you got to know your melody first. To
Yeah.
me, you really
Yeah,
got to know your melody first, and then you got to figure out what your bridge is gonna be, or if you're gonna have a bridge.
It's all. It depends on the song. Every song's is like a child to me. Like songs are like kids. Each of your kids. You're your kids, but they're all just a little different. And sometimes night and day. And music's like that for me. Sometimes I just want to. Okay, what do I want? What I want the song to feel like. Kind of what we were talking about earlier. I
Right.
use that as a writing tool more than anything.
Oh yeah, of course.
I want to know what my song is really about sometimes. So sometimes I'll just write lyrics and the music will come later on,
That's
or
true.
the other way around. It just depends.
That's true.
There's
Yeah.
no right or wrong way to do it. Everybody's got different methods, and
Everybody
I
got
don't use the
different
same
methods.
one.
That's what gives you your style too.
Yeah.
Whichever way that you write it and what you use to base it on, 'Cause, I've written a couple of songs myself. I have put them on cassette tape and sent it off to the Library of Congress. But you know what? I'll bet I can't even get those transformed to DVDs now. Probably cost a fortune. And I don't even have my original material anymore. It's just it's stuck up
Tracking it
there.
down will be the hard part.
No, I can find it. I always check on my stuff in the Library of Congress to make sure it's still there.
Well,
Because
that's not that hard of a process. It wouldn't cost you hardly anything to get that train. And you could
Yeah.
actually remaster it, and it would sound better than what you had to begin
There's
with.
one song that I really would like to remaster because it was me and one of my college mates that wrote the song together, and he actually had the words, the lyrics, and I had to put the music to it. And so that would be one that I really would like to remaster because it has a certain type of sound that never grows old, and it's never too new.
Yeah, there's songs like that. They're just timeless, and
It's a timeless song, and I would really like to have that one remastered. Not that worried about the rest of it. It was so funny though. This past Christmas before last, I was listening to Christmas music in the car, right? So, and I heard this beat on this Christmas song this lady was singing, and I was like, "That's my beat," I'm like, "Man, she stole my beat," and
yeah.
I'm like, "Okay." So and that makes you wonder about your stuff.
I don't. Sometimes, yeah, you can wonder, but we know that after my first demo came out, it was just really, really ironic. We sent it out to. We had an agent and everything. Sent it out to a bunch of labels that told us they weren't interested, and lo and behold, like that next summer, I heard a song on the radio. My aunt called me. She goes, "Hey, did you get on the radio?" I'm like, "No."
They stole your music. That's all your music.
It wasn't the song, but you know what? I knew it was the song. Either that or we're just great minds think alike. That's what I thought.
I had somebody that do me like that was very famous, and he made money off this song. And he stole it from me when I went down to Stax Museum. And the guy that actually taught me the chord, sometimes you can just take maybe like 2 or 3 chords and you got really a nice little melody going, right? Mm-hmm. So the guy that taught me the song, his name was Tommy Mister, and I learned it and I loved it. It was kind of jazzy, kind of bluesy. And then me and one of my best friends, we always wanted to be, you know, when you were teenagers back when Motown was out. When Motown came out, everybody wanted to be the Chardels, everybody wanted to be the Supremes. And you go down to the Stax Museum, they let you audition, you know, and so they didn't like our singing. And I walked over to this, I was over there on the piano playing my chord, and I'm not calling his name because he's passed away now and he's not here to defend himself. But he walked over and wanted me to know. He said, what is that? They could run that chord again. What say you playing? And dumb me, 15, didn't know no better. I showed him. And then he put it on an album and made millions off of it.
Well, in those days, it was especially different. Now, because a lot of people have things down, there's an electronic record
exactly.
of it. And that's not as good as a copyright, but it at least gives you some protection.
It gives you some protection. That's what taught me a lesson. Because me and the guy that actually wrote the chord and showed us, we actually went to see an attorney. But the attorney said that we didn't actually have any proof. And it was really going to be hard to sue since I was the one that showed it to him. See, it was like, you know, I gave the information freely, you know.
Well, not only that, he goes, that's, he said, she said, is what they say.
Yeah, you know, back then they stole a lot of music from artists. You know, that was the thing. That's what they did, and
they don't steal it now. Artists just give it away. You know.
Hey, but what about this latest song? Did you hear this latest song? Let's see, they were talking about on the news today that AI produced. You heard that?
No, you know what? No, I'm not. No.
But I mean, they making money off of it. It's a hit. They were just talking about it on the news, and I can't remember what is the name of it and who they made it sound like, but there are AIs writing songs now, selling music, and
pretty soon there's not going to be anything for anyone to do. How are we all going to get paid?
That was the main question.
Every job is going to be taken over by something at some point. It seems like it's going that way.
And that's the question with the AI. Everybody wants to know, well, who's going to get paid for it? And I guess the technician that ran the AI algorithm, you know, that would be a person I guess that would get paid.
That's a whole different can of worms right there. I'm
thinking about doing it. After I heard it, I said, I'm gonna get on the computer and see if I can run me some algorithms and make me some fast millions, because I mean, they said that the doggone song that was made like in overnight, it was put on the thing, and like a week later it's made like $3 million. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's worth a try.
That algorithm can't show up. That algorithm can't show up on a tour bus where you live, though, and go perform for you.
No, but you know what?
I guess holograms. That's what they're.
Generation X and Z don't care nothing about that. They live on Spotify. They live on Apple Music. You know, they will go to concerts, but it's just certain people that they're gonna go and see, like. But they will buy that music if they never see you. That's one thing about that. They will buy that music. Let it get to the top of the chart. They're gonna buy it.
Yeah, well, if someone really, I don't know, people are different. You know, everybody spends their money differently. First of all, and when we're younger, we tend to spend. That's who buys music, is the younger people, and that's why.
I know, right? I sure don't spend any money on music anymore.
No, you'd have to be something very, very special. Right. But you know,
I'm gonna try to find that, and I'm gonna buy it. But you know what? I don't know. I'll have to look into it, because I would like to play it on the show, but I might not be able to play it on the show because I don't know who it belongs to. I could play yours because you are here in the studio live with me.
Well, I'm giving you permission right now. You can play my album in completion anytime on your program.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You know what? I'm not going to say they won't give you like a copyright or whatever warnings, because I get them on my own music on my channels. YouTube threatened to shut a stream down the other day because
I know, right?
My music was being used in it. it's like, yeah, no kidding, my music's being used in it. That's kind of what I do, you know. They know that, but it's just the way things work.
Yeah. So Rich, she kind of took me. To my, which was going to be my next question. How do you feel about the direction that rock or any other music, for that matter, the direction is going in? Because I know myself as being brought up on hip hop, my generation is not pleased with the new generations and what they've done with it. So how does that make you feel about it?
Well, you know, that it's kind of it's a little bit apples and oranges in one regards, in that rock isn't the predominant genre that it once was. It ain't top of the food chain anymore, and hip hop is, you know, or was. Hip hop's kind of going through. My opinion on that is, hip hop really, the golden age of hip hop to me is probably about 1991, 92 to 99. Or in 2000, and maybe 2000. You got to give a little bit more room there. 2003, but like any other genre of music, you know, jazz was not the top of the food chain too. Then rock came along, went through its iterations, and perhaps, you know, and people change. I suppose, you know, that's why we're not listening to classical music either. You know, or you know, 40s big band. My grandma, you know, she was brokenhearted when 40s jazz wasn't it, you know, and country music fans are the same way. They like the traditional country and don't like what, and I'm not talking about all of them, but I'm talking about, I think it's an age thing as part of it. But in general, the way that we're talking about AI, I don't like that. I just, as a creator, because I know a little bit about it, enough about AI to be dangerous. And one thing I do know is that AI is not reinventing the wheel in any way, shape, or imagination. At this point. All it's doing is it's able to process what we all know. Yeah. So in a sense, if you really get down to it, AI is a thief. And if it's producing music, it's producing music that was based on stuff I did and all the other artists that came before me are performing now, and came up with its own version of it.
I agree.
Well, so I don't know. You know, as far as the rock scene goes, it seems to kind of stabilize. It kind of fell off the face of the earth, it seemed, but it seemed to have kind of made a little bit of a comeback, and some traditional things are starting to, I think people are getting worn out on technology a little bit, quite honest with you. And you're seeing vinyl sales have rebounded, and CDs have started selling again a little bit. And in Japan, they're one of the biggest selling items in Japan. Music, they still sell physical merch over there like we used to back in the day. Right. And you can't, what goes along with music, the lifestyle, or the not lifestyles, I'm not talking about the artist side, but the fan side. You know, those days of waiting out, going to Tower Records at midnight and waiting in line for the new album to come out. Yeah. I know kids might hear it now, or younger people that don't have that experience, and think, man, I'm glad, you know, I got Spotify, it's just going to be there. Right. You think that, but you know what? You're missing out on a lot, because you meet people, I mean, just the whole way the world was back then. It seems like we're so segmented now, and I think music is just reflecting that segmented, you know, nation or society that we have now. And when you do that, what's going to be the end result? I don't believe it's not going to be something that's genuine, that's natural, and I think you see that reflected in art, and it's kind of, you know, suffered a little bit. But there's still people, and that's one of the things that's important. It's going to be important for the
well, you
artists,
know, this time, as far as I'm concerned, real music stopped when Motown ended.
Well, you know what? Some people would agree with you 100%.
Yeah, well, those guys, they really worked hard for that dollar. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I appreciate all that music, though, and I can see the journey that music has went on over the years. And one of my favorite genres of music is, there's some genres that haven't gotten touched so much that still maintain what the bluegrass, to a large extent, is kind of still got its roots. And I'm a fan of bluegrass music. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
bluegrass
I like some of that.
is very prominent. Yes, and
I mean, it's
so
been
is
around for a long time, and it's
country.
still.
Country is too. Country and bluegrass, they're prominent. And just like the blues is prominent, but the blues kind of it is not as prominent as country and bluegrass. I wouldn't say it was.
Well, I think it just depends on where you're at.
It does depend on
where
location.
you live in the country. I
Yeah,
remember
in the
being on Bill
South now.
Street.
In the South, yeah,
Bill
blues is
Street
very
is
prominent.
never left. I was gonna say it's not
But
popular.
the thing about it
In
is,
Memphis,
the thing
just-
about it is, though, even in Europe, they love the blues, though.
Oh, sure.
Because yeah, they do. They really love the blues, and because a lot of our artists, like B.B. King and all those guys, they like toured over there.
Oh yeah.
So
And Chicago is good for blues.
Yeah, Blue Note. I've seen a couple shows there when I was up in
Yeah.
Chicago, and going during the week is the best time to go. It's somebody not an artist you may never heard of, but they're getting a chance to play there, and you're usually regulars, and
Yeah.
I mean they just throw down.
Yeah, they do.
And there's nothing better to just listen to someone that was an artist, just a master at their craft, like Marsalis was, and
Right,
just
right.
just all the great artists. I've got Kansas City on my mind tonight for some reason, but we recorded one of our videos there, and I got family from that part. So Kansas City's a good blues town too. Well, better jazz, I'd say. Really good jazz town.
Well, we're gonna take a little break. When we come back, we're gonna let everybody do their last comments, and so y'all get your closing remarks ready.
All right.
We'll leave the last closing remark for our guests, and then of course I will close the show tonight. All right. So listen,
All right.
y'all. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't leave. We're not gone yet. Stick
I'm gonna
and
say
stay.
something real important. Just wait.
Oh, okay. Stick and stay, y'all. Don't go away. We'll be back.
Welcome to the Shack 12-Week Shred. My name is Rock Shabazz, and I'm here to take you through the same program that I made for this guy right here.
This program is without a doubt a huge reason why I was able to get fit and stay fit. If you put in the work and stay consistent, you just might be able to keep up. It's time for you to get to work.
So, are you going to Amy's wedding?
I don't have the money.
Man, that commercial gets me every time. All right, bring in the rest of the team, and we're going to get ready to go ahead and get out of here, out of Dodge City. All right, let's start with the man, Heartbeat of the South, Tim, closing remarks.
Great show, man. I mean, good information. Rich, I appreciate all your input, man, and feedback. Let me bounce off you with my questions and whatnot. So, yeah, I fulfilled the show. Yeah, so great.
SYBIL.
Well, of course, we really enjoyed you. Hope you come back to see us. And I want to thank Cathy for inviting you on the world famous Emily Pearl show. Our show is archived, so you can go back and look it up later and share it to your friends. From now on, it just stays right there where it's at. And thank you very much for bringing music to the world. And I'm looking forward to checking out your website.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, man.
Cathy.
Okay. Rich, can you give some advice to any starting musicians, songwriters, anyone in the music business who've been struggling, and any tips at all for them?
Well, your attitude positive, and just keep going forward, and put even on the days where you just don't feel like it sometimes, do something that counts, do something that matters, because it's all these little things over the time. It's sometimes it's not what you're doing necessarily, but it's about building good habits. And Shaq said it, that excellence takes a lot of practice. I'm paraphrasing, but he said people aren't just excellent. You got to really, really work at it. And just like anything else, if you keep at it long enough and just give it your all, something positive will happen for you. If you sit around and wait for something positive to happen, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't. So
that's true. Well,
quite
it's
honestly, I know people always want some great. No, it's really as simple as that. And I have to remind myself of what I just said. Often we all do. So
that's true. So SYBIL always says nobody's gonna knock on your door and ask you what do you do. So you got
the first one to do that yet.
Yeah, and I agree. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on and being our guest tonight. Thank you again.
My
our
pleasure.
Nashville correspondent, Cathy CC, for inviting our guests. I mean, these are well, I know she's an agent, so I don't know. I could say, where do you find all these great people? But I forgot she is an agent. So anyhow, we enjoyed it. And as SYBIL says, make sure that you share the show. You are free to use the show for your promotional purposes and whatever you need to use it for. The same as you have done for me and allowed me to share the show for promoting the Emily Pearl Show with you on there. You can do the same thing, okay? So let's give Rich a hand, everybody. I know we got some audience members out there.
Everybody, so nice. You guys are so kind. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we love. That's what we do. We're laid back, and we just like for guests to come in and give you a chance to tell everybody about who you are, what you do, because as SYBIL said, nobody gonna knock on the door and say, "Hey, Rich, what do you do, man? Are you a musician?" No, they won't do that. We gotta get the publicity out there, and that's what we try to do. So I want to thank everybody that did come to the audience.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
you guys. We got some people watching. We're on I think about I guess about 7 platforms.
Sandra.
Oh yeah, she's been here. She got disconnected and she's come back. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she was like one of the early birds. Sandra always gets in there early.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think they was doing a lot of listening tonight. They didn't have any questions, but they will know how to get in touch with you. They know to go to your website. You guys make sure you check out the website. Oh, wait a minute. Every time
she's getting your web. I think she's getting your website there, Rich.
Oh, okay. I feel like the teacher just left the class. Now we can
now we can mess around. All right, let's mess around.
All
right.
Tim, have you ever heard of DJ? Have you ever heard of DJ Muggs? You know who DJ Muggs is?
I do not. I do not.
Here we go. I'm coming back in. I'm coming back in. Where'd everybody go?
You got a different picture.
That's okay.
It's going to change. Everybody else is gone. I clicked the wrong button.
Oh my!
And I was trying to click on his button, to show everybody the link. But SYBIL had to disconnect herself. Okay, here he is. There's our guest. Okay, there's SYBIL. She's back. Okay, everybody's back. See, I clicked the wrong button. I didn't hit the end stream button, but I was trying to show Rick's 29 chats. Okay, well, I didn't see them all come through. I was trying to show the link on the screen, and when but when I clicked it to show it on the screen, it took me to his website. Yeah, it took me straight to your website page. The page was coming up, and I was trying to exit out, and I exited out the studio link. Wow. But anyhow, it's
technical difficulties. It's all good.
Yeah, let me put me down here and move you back up there so they can see you. All right, I'm going to leave that up there for tonight. Listen, thank you all so much. Thank you, Tim, Cathy, SYBIL, and our guests so much for coming in. And so, to all of my pearls in the listening audience tonight, a pearl is defined as a precious thing. It is the finest example of something special. So, it doesn't matter whether you are rich or poor, you, my pearls, are a precious thing. You are the finest example of someone special. All right. As we say around here in the Emily Pearl Studio, listen, don't hate them, congratulate them. And if you deem it and mean it, I promise you, my pearls, everything good that you do with what team?
Come back to you.
Come back to you. That's right.
I'm
That's
there
our
waiting,
time. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight, and we will see you all. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.